Society calls this anxiety-related insomnia. But science calls it nocturnal cognitive hyperactivity. If you lie in bed, turn off the light, close your eyes, and instead of sleeping, your brain is working at full speed, reliving conversations, planning tomorrow, analyzing every detail of your day. This video will explain what's really happening. And no, you're not going crazy. Your brain has something called the default mode network. It's the part that's active when you're not doing anything. During the day, you get distracted. There's work, conversations, screens, noise. But when you lie down, when everything stops, this network wakes up. And if your prefrontal cortex is naturally active, it doesn't switch off easily. It starts processing, reviewing, planning. It's not that you want to think, it's that your brain was programmed not to waste idle time. It uses silence to organize information. You didn't choose this. It's pure neurology. And do you know why this happens specifically? At night, because during the day, the world bombards you. Notifications, people, decisions, constant noise. Your brain goes into reaction mode. But when you turn off the light, when silence finally arrives, it's the first time of the day that it can process everything on its own. Without interference, without interruption. And then it all comes at once. That conversation you had in the morning, that email you forgot to answer, that plan for the future. The chaos of the day becomes mental clarity. Only at the wrong time. Now comes what will surprise you. A Harvard University study found that people with high nighttime cognitive activity have better creative problem-solving abilities. Why? Because the resting brain makes connections that it doesn't make during the day. You know that brilliant idea that pops into your head at 2 a.m.? It's not a coincidence. It's your brain working in the background. Writers, scientists, inventors. Many of them have their best ideas at night. You're not losing sleep. You're gaining insights. And I know what they tell you. You overthink? Turn your brain off. Relax. But the truth is, your brain doesn't have an off switch, and it shouldn't. Deep thinking isn't the problem. The problem is the culture that says you have to be either always productive or always switched off. Nothing in between. But you live in the middle. And that's okay. Sometimes the best moments are those when you're alone with your thoughts, even if it's 3 a.m., reflecting on life. But pay attention. There's a difference. Thinking before bed because your brain is processing the day, organizing ideas, creating solutions. That's healthy. But thinking in a loop, ruminating on the same fears, reliving the same shames, anticipating catastrophes that will never happen. That's not reflection. That's rumination. And rumination drains. It doesn't build. Ask yourself, are these thoughts taking me anywhere? Or just keeping me stuck? If you identify with this, subscribe to the channel. Leave a like too, because here we don't just talk about psychology. We talk about you, about how you really function. And there are many people who need to hear that they're not alone in this. Now imagine. You lie down. You pull up the covers. The house is silent. The world is asleep. And you begin. You think about that conversation you had earlier. You relive every word. You analyze every tone. Then you think about what you need to do tomorrow. You create a mental plan. Then you remember something that happened 5 years ago. And without realizing it, an hour has passed. You look at the clock. You sigh. And you think, again. But you know what? Maybe this isn't a problem. Maybe it's just the way your brain processes the world. So, remember this. You're not overly anxious. You're not problematic. You don't need to fix anything. You just have a brain that doesn't waste silence, that uses alone time to reflect, analyze, create. And yes, sometimes that steals your sleep, but it also gives you depth. It gives you clarity. You don't live on the surface. You dive deep, and that's rare. That's valuable. It doesn't let anyone convince you that thinking is bad. Now tell me, do you also overthink before bed? Comment below. And stay tuned, because the next video will affect you in a way you didn't expect. Don't miss it.